Hey, good morning. This is Mathia Ford and with Wildcat Brand Management. This morning, I want to talk to you about how does selling on Amazon work for brands. So brands can leverage the traffic of Amazon for their own sales, but there can be some kind of details that are important to figure out as a brand that you may not be aware of. So there's a few little details that I want to talk to you about this morning. So first of all, should you get an individual account or should you get a professional account? So the difference is an individual account, you sell the items, you pay like 99 cents each item when you sell it. You don't get access to the expanded details of some of the reporting, and you have limited ability in some categories. So if you have products in certain categories like grocery or health and beauty, you may not be able to get approved to sell in that category, which would then be a problem for your brand. So the caveat to that is that you don't have any money up front, and you can create listings, you can have account, you can sell on Amazon and just kind of get your feet wet. Now, a professional account costs $39.99 a month, and it does not have that 99-cent fee. So what happens a lot of times is if you plan on selling over 40 items a month, which a lot of people do, then you would be benefited to already just go to the professional account. So you can start with the individual account, and then after a few days or maybe even a week, when you see how it's working, you can change over to the professional account. The professional account does not has usually like a 30-day kind of window. You get 30 days free and then you get charged. It doesn't go retroactive though. So if you've paid $1 per listing per selling, then you're not going to get that money back. You're just going to have to go forward with what you have. So a professional account, like I said, allows you to get ungated in certain categories. It can allow you to have advanced reporting, which is really important. So as a brand, it's probably worth it for you to go with the extra $40 a month charge, because you probably will sell more than 40 items a month, unless they're really big items and maybe huge, more cost. Maybe you sell on a $250 or $300 item. You want to be able to, probably not have to sell 40 a month. It depends. So, as a brand, you can, you probably also want to create your own listings, which you can do with an individual account, but you cannot upload a spreadsheet for the individual account. You have to have a professional account. And you may wonder, well, why would I want to do that? And that's a way to upload listings, a lot of listings, but it's also a way to fix listings. So if you upload your listings and then you have an issue or something gets changed, you're able to re-upload it and change it back quickly. That might not seem like it's very important, but it's huge. A lot of times listings gets changed and it's hard to get changed back. And a lot of times being able to upload the listing, you're able to do it quickly, get it fixed. So those are the kind of the differences between the individual and professional account. I certainly recommend a professional account, but you certainly can start with individual just to see how it works for you. So your next choice is whether you're going to sell ship items yourself or sell them through Prime, through FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. So the difference, Fulfillment by Amazon, is what most people think of as Prime. So Amazon has it in their warehouse. You ship it to Amazon's warehouse. You pay to ship it to Amazon's warehouse at a very reduced rate. You ship it to their warehouse. You don't have control over which warehouse it goes to, but usually you ship in kind of 18 or more quantities and it'll go to the same warehouse, and then they'll distribute it throughout the country. So one of the problems can be that it might take a week or two even for things to become available once you've shipped them in. A good thing to do is, keep yours listed as you will ship it, you will send it, and then that way it's available until it becomes available in Prime. So Prime is actually a program that Amazon has. It's not the program that sellers have, which is called FBA. There's just a little, it's a It's different, but a lot of people refer to it the same way. So selling on Prime, selling on FBA, you're going to have that benefit of the Prime buyers. There are people that won't even look at Merchant Fulfilled, which is the other option. There are people that, they love that second day. Amazon handles all the customer service for you, so that can be a huge benefit, can be very helpful. You don't have to kind of keep up with customer messages all the time. And the other thing is when you have things in Prime, you can have a day off or two if you're not shipping things yourself and have a little bit of a relaxation. So if you want to be able to kind of do Amazon as a little more hands-off and have a little less to manage with it, then, and say you're a wholesaler and you wholesale to your customers, you're used to shipping to them in bulk. You can pack things up in bulk, ship, you have to label it, but ship it into Amazon, and then you're still not shipping to individual customers. But your other choice is to do what's called MFN, Merchant Fulfilled, or Merchant FBM, Fulfillment by Merchant, which means that you ship it yourself. So you're packing it, you're printing the labels, you're putting it in the mail, or you're sending it to UPS. And that can be a great option if you have items that are more difficult to package. If you have items, you get a lot of control over the customer experience and how they get the item. So if you get things from Amazon Prime, they kind of pack them in. Sometimes you get one small little thing in a big box. If you want your packaging to be a certain way, if you want people to have a certain experience when they have the product, you can do that with packaging with FBA. But you also, if you ship it yourself, you can put it in your own bag that has your branding on it, and that can be a nice benefit for you. So if you ship from your location, again, it's called Fulfilled by Merchant. This can place limits on, if it's a 1 to 2 person operation, or if you're not used to shipping individual items, but you're more used to shipping in bulk. That can be make it more difficult, so you may find Prime to be more beneficial. I think even with the additional fees, there are additional fees with FBA. So Fulfilled by Merchant, you're going to pay the advertising fee, which I like to think of it as an advertising fee because you're basically paying Amazon for their platform to have all the traffic to sell your product. So you have your fees for selling it. But with FBA, when you're doing it through Prime, you have fulfillment fees, you have pick and pack fees, you have shipping, all that stuff. You have a few extra fees. Shipping it yourself, I have found personally that the cost is about the same. By the time I pay the Amazon fee plus the shipping charge, I don't get as cheap as shipping rates as Amazon does for sure. I get, just the normal commercial discount. So being able to ship it, so when I let Amazon ship it, I don't have to worry about whether the item is going across the country or next door to me as far as how much it costs with charges for U.S. Postal Service. And I don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to get there on time. Amazon's going to take care of that. With Fulfillment by Merchant, you have certain guidelines. You could set up how long you have for processing dates. If it's going to take you 1 day or 2 days to process. And you also can ship through U.S. Postal Service or UPS, however you would like. But you also kind of are held accountable for if the item doesn't reach the customer in time. So those are some things you want to think about. Just trying to decide if you're trying to get Amazon, as a great channel, but a little bit hands-off, you can use the FBA option. If you want to maintain a lot more control over your brand and the way things look and shipping, and then you can stay with FBM and ship it yourself. Again, it just depends on your personal brand expectations. And you could even do both. So that doesn't mean if you're just doing Prime, you can also have a Fulfilled by Merchant offer, like I was mentioning, that when something runs out at FBA, if you happen to have a glitch or you just run low on product, you can have your Fulfilled by Merchant offer there and then still be shipping things into Prime. And once the Prime hits, believe me, it'll start selling out of Prime instead of your Fulfilled by Merchant. Prime has the extra advantage of all those Prime buyers who love Prime, and they will not even look at a fulfilled by merchant offer. So that's, to me, something number 2 that brands need to think about when they're selling on Amazon. Number 3 is thinking about how you can sell on Amazon. So as a brand, in a lot of ways, you're just like a regular retailer. I'm a brand, but I'm just like the person next door who may go into stores, buy items, and resell them at a little bit higher price, called retail arbitrage or wholesale or online arbitrage. They may buy things online, sell them more expensive online on Amazon. But as a manufacturer, if you manufacture your brand, you have a benefit because you have a lower cost. So, you're going to probably sell for your MSRP, but your cost is probably about a fourth of what the cost that 1/4 of the MSRP. So if you think about it as a manufacturer, say you buy a product, you buy it for $2, you wholesale it for $4, and the retail price is $8. That's the Keystone pricing that a lot of retailers use. So you would then be making money on the $2, and you would be able to take out your fees and stuff like that, which is probably another $3 to $4 at an $8 price. You're making that couple dollars, so you're making 100%. Whereas your retailer would probably have difficulty buying it for $4 and selling it for $8 because the minimum fees on Prime and in Amazon typically are anywhere from the $3 to $4 range. So probably you're better with higher priced items. We try to go to the $20 to $25 range. But still, even at that, if you have a $20 product, you paid probably $5 for it, maybe even less, and then you're able to make that difference. But you still want to sell at your MSRP on Amazon to help protect your brick and mortar retailers. So there is a thing called an FBA revenue calculator, and I have a link to that in the blog post. But the FBA revenue calculator will help you to understand kind of how much your fees are going to be. So it's not something like you don't know before you sell it. You find out, you can look at related items, similar items. If you have a competitor that sells something pretty close to what you have, you can look at theirs in the FBA calculator, revenue calculator, and see how much, it's about going to cost you when you sell it. So that way you have a good idea of what your fees are going to be. You have a good idea of what your profit margin will be. So a lot of brands ask me about how do you control your listings on Amazon, because brands seem to think that sometimes that if they just ignore Amazon, that they're not going to be on Amazon, when the reality is that somebody's probably going to buy your product and resell it on Amazon, because it's a place where if you have something that's popular, a lot of people are going to go look for it there, and somebody, a smart entrepreneur, is going to put it there. So how do brands control their listing? One of the ways you can do that is using brand registry. Now, brand registry does not gate your listing, does not keep people off your listings, but when you are registered as a brand, it does allow you to control what your listing looks like. It allows you to have a brand store where you're able to so if you've ever gone to Amazon and you see like the brand name in the listing, you click on that. Sometimes it'll go to what looks like a storefront, what looks like another, an Amazon website. And that's what a brand can do with brand registry. To get brand registry, you need to have a trademark. You need to have the ability to, communicate with the lawyer, whoever is managing that trademark. But and Amazon has an IP accelerator program that can help you get that trademark and get that brand registry set up sooner. But having that registry, again, it doesn't gate your listings, but it allows you to control what they say. People cannot go in and just randomly change your listings. That happens a lot with ungated or unregistered brands. So somebody can go behind. Remember, I said the thing about uploading the listing. People can upload files that will change complete listings. So it's important to control your brand that way. You also have the ability to do the enhanced brand content, also known as EBC, where you can make, if you ever go to Amazon listings and you scroll down, and in the description there's nice pretty pictures and there's a lot more information about the brand. That's called enhanced brand content. that actually improves conversions, and it actually is a great way to kind of highlight your brand on Amazon. So the brand stores, the enhanced brand content, you can add videos to your listings to give. All of this allows you to tell your brand story and to be able to keep your brand message within what you'd like. So it doesn't have to look, if somebody's already got your items listed on Amazon and you want to get control of those, the best way to do that is to get a brand registry set up so that then you have control over that. You can go back and you can change those. You can even see who the sellers are on your products. So when you have brand registry, you're able to see the names and the addresses of the sellers who have listed your products, which will give you a lot of information about which of your wholesalers are reselling your products on Amazon. Now, one of the things that's important is to understand how to do brand registry and to understand how to do it right. There's a lot of pieces to it. You could do sponsored brands, you can do some pay-per-click, all that stuff is involved. So you can get somebody to really help you with that and get your brand set up to help you improve those brand loyalty and brand sales. And at Wildcat Brand Management, we do that. There's other brand management companies, but Amazon is a huge, huge e-commerce, platform, but brands have a lot of times have difficulty being seen. But at Wildcat Brand Management, we manage your account from A to Z, and we allow you to go back to kind of doing what you do best, which is selling your brand, showing your brand, telling your brand story, building that customer loyalty, and then you're able to sell on Amazon as another outlet. I've never seen Amazon as the business. Amazon is an outlet for you. We can also help you get started on other platforms and help you to understand how to manage those other platforms with Wildcat Brand Management. So we can be a great partner with you, and I'd love to talk to you more. So go ahead and you can schedule a call with us and we can talk about your brand and what you'd like to do and how we maybe can help you. So thanks for listening today.